Good evening. Here is the world news from BGI TV, Baba Bagede Imo TV. I am yours faithfully, Mori Rebila Lawal. First are the major headlines for the world news. Drug business. Abba Kyari's wife slumps in court. Drug trafficking. NDLEA opposes Abba Kyari's bail request, insists he will escape. AGF. Malami denies exonerating Abba Kyari, explains action. Teenage nanny strangles mistress baby to death to please cause. Nan's kids as policeman shoots undergraduate in Ibadan. Dispatch rider accused of kidnapping hiding baby in his courier in Lagos is innocent. Man bagged 7-year imprisonment for rape assault in Ogun. Ogun resident to Abiodun, we are under siege of hoodlums in Araromi. And to foreign story, why NATO cannot fight Russia in Ukraine. And sports, Oshuala's goals power backer to Spanish League title. Now the news in detail. The wife of the suspended Deputy Commissioner of Police, Abba Kyari, on Monday slumped at the Federal High Court in Abuja. Ramatu Yakubu Kyari slumped and fell on the floor while men of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency were leading Kyari and others away from the court premises. After she slumped, she was quickly carried and rushed inside one of the offices of the court by NDLEA officials and lawyers for the medical detention. The development followed the filing of ruling on Kyari's bail application by the presiding judge, Justice Emeka Nwite. The judge deferred ruling on applications filed by Kyari alongside 6 other persons facing drug trafficking charges that they may be released on bail pending the determination of the case against them. Furthermore, the judge adjourned the bail application of Kyari and others until March 28th. Justice Nwite adjourned the bail application after Kyari's lawyers and the prosecution counsel argued their position for and against their request. The judge also ordered that Kyari and 6 others should be remanded in NDLEA custody pending determination of the matter. Meanwhile, Ramatu later came out of the office and was assisted by some close friends and family members. While she was being attended to, the NDLEA officers waited for Kyari outside the court for several minutes. The Punch had earlier reported that 8 charges were filed against Kyari and 6 others over their involvement in the alleged drug trafficking. Kyari was arraigned on 8 counts bordering on conspiracy, obstruction, dealing in cocaine, and other related offenses. The other defendant in the chargeback FHC ABJ 57-2022 are 4 members of the Police Intelligence Response Team: Sunday J. Obia, Bawa James, Simon Agiriba, and John Nuhu. Still on Abba Kyari's story, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, on Monday ordered the federal court sitting in Abuja to deny the suspended Deputy Commissioner of Police, DCP Abba Kyari, bail. The NDLEA opposed Kyari's bail request on the day his wife Ramatu collapsed in court. The agency, in the 21-paragraph counter affidavit it lodged before the court, insisted that Kyari posed a flight risk. It told the court that Kyari, who it told headed the Police Intelligence Response Team, IRT, would escape from the country and make himself unavailable for trial should he be released from custody. While adopting the counter affidavit before Judge and Justice Emeka Nwite on Monday, the NDLEA, through its Director of Prosecution and Legal Services, Mr. Joseph Sunday, maintained that the former IRT boss has tremendous influence in the Nigerian police, insisting that he has the capacity to interfere with its witnesses. The prosecution counsel told the court that bundles of exhibit marked NDLEA 1-5 were attached to the counter affidavit, that there is a strong likelihood of the 4th to 5th defendant applicants using their influence in the police and the criminal underworld to interfere with prosecution witnesses if released on bail. That financial investigation of the 4th to 5th defendant applicants is also in progress by the NDLEA, and they are likely to be subsequently charged with money laundering offenses, as there are yet to be explained financial transactions involving the 4th to 5th defendant applicants. It avowed that the defendants are likely to tamper with financial records and interfere with the ongoing financial investigation, adding that Kyari failed to report to its office until he was declared wanted. NDLEA added that one of Kyari's alleged accomplices, ASP John Umaru, aka Too Much Money, has absconded. Still on Abba Kyari's case from Malami's angle, Abubakar Malami, Nigeria's Attorney General and Minister of Justice, has denied exonerating a suspended police officer, Abba Kyari. The AGF made a clarification on Sunday through spokesman Umar Gondu. The minister noted that there appears to be a misunderstanding regarding the issue. He said the case was in progress and that his office only requested further probe in relation to some aspect of the investigation. Malami maintained that no conclusion has been reached in the direction of the absence of evidence relating to the false report. He said it was a case of work in progress in respect of which the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation requested for further probe in relation to some aspect of the investigation. It was clear that the conclusion on the alleged contribution on the issue was a clear case of misconception. The Office of the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice stands is that no conclusion has been reached in the direction of the absence of evidence relating to the false report. The issues were raised for further investigation with a view to cover the field in the investigation in order to arrive at an informed decision. To another story, the Lagos State Police Command has arrested a 14-year-old nanny, Chiamaka Odo, for strangling her mistress' 6-month-old baby to death to please the Ogolowa Court Group in Enugu State. The Commissioner of Police in the state, Abiodun Alabi, disclosed these on Monday at a press briefing held at the command headquarters in the Ikeja area of the state. He said on 6 February 2022, a 14-year-old female nanny strangled her mistress' son, Jadine Osokolo, kept in custody to death. The suspect, Chiamaka Odo, confessed to be a member of the Ogolowa Court Group in Enugu State. During interrogation, she disclosed that members of the court group requested her to bring the blood of the deceased to the spiritual world, and she carried out the dastardly acts. The CP also detectives attached to the State Criminal Investigation Department of the command on February 26, 2022, arrested a 26-year-old suspect simply identified as Oluwatoyin Joshua for murder. The suspect on the said day stabbed the deceased Olayinka Adebayo, male, aged 27, to death with a knife kitchen while fighting over the sharing of 3,000 naira given to them by a good Samaritan. The incident happened at Ogunaike Street, Shangisha, Lagos. The suspect is in police custody while awaiting legal advice from the DPP, Alabi said. The CP said since his assumption of duty on January 24, 2022, the command forged 16 armed robbery incidents and arrested 62 armed robbery suspects. To a national story, a policeman has reportedly shot and injured a student of the Adesheun Ogundoyin Polytechnic in Erua, Oyo State. The student Samuel Akinsui was said to be going from Erua to Ibadan on Friday when a policeman stopped him during a stop and search operation and assaulted him thoroughly before shooting him in the leg. It was not clear what the policeman accused Akinsui, a student of Business Administration Department, of, but the trigger-happy cop was said to have fled the scene immediately after shooting the student. The Southwest coordinator of the National Association of Nigerian Students, Olatunji Adegoye, in a statement on Monday said the injured student was now battling with paralysis as a result of the shooting. He also accused the police of cover-up while lamenting what he described as incessant police brutality, especially against students along Ibadan Erua Road. Adegoye said on a daily basis, armless and helpless Nigerian citizens continue to fall victim to bloodthirsty police officers who met out on Nigerians' various inhuman treatment, ranging from verbal assault, outright assault, unlawful arrest, unjust detention, and more often than not, being shot at. Those saddled with the responsibility of safeguarding us from danger have turned themselves to the actual danger. On March 11, 2022, the Nigerian students yet again suffered a great injustice from the hands of a reckless policeman. Akinsui Samuel, a business administration student at the Adesheun Ogundoyin Polytechnic in Erua, was beaten and then shot on the leg by a yet-to-be-identified stop-and-search police officer on his way from Erua to Ibadan on Friday. It is rather unfortunate that several days after the criminal incident, the Nigerian Police Force, Oyo State Command, and the Police Service Commission have failed to make convincing action statements over this persistent cankerworm. Up to now, the silence remains unidentified. This is a clear sign of the regular conspiracy practices of the police force. To our story from Lagos. The dispatch rider who was publicly humiliated and accused of kidnapping and hiding a baby in his courier box is innocent, the child's mother has said. Daily Gist has reported that the dispatch rider was apprehended by some angry mob in Lagos State after a baby was allegedly found in his courier box. However, in a video recorded by the owner of the logistics business to clear our company's name, the child's mother spoke up, revealing no one stole our child. The mother insisted that the dispatch rider seen with our child is our child's uncle, and she was the one who gave him the child. She said he is not a kidnapper, as was claimed in the video shared by locals who saw him with the child and assumed the worst. I'm the one that gave him the baby by myself because I trust him. He is the baby's uncle, the child's mother said. So another story from Ogun State. An Ogun State High Court has sentenced the rapist Peter Michael to 7 years imprisonment. Michael was arraigned on 2-count charge of rape and assault. The prosecuting counsel, M.T. Shodeke, said Michael assaulted and forcefully had sexual intercourse with one Fatima Alayi on our farm in Abeokuta area of Ogun State at around 8:10 a.m. in the morning of the 22nd of January 2021. He was said to have succeeded in the act with the aid of the cutlass, which he used to inflict cuts on the head and forearm of the victim. Following the receipt of complaints of his action, the men of Odeda Police Division arrested Michael on the same day he committed the crime. On interrogation, Michael confirmed that he had sexual intercourse with the victim, but it was not forced, noting that the victim was his woman friend and she initiated the action. However, when asked why he had cutlass with him and why the victim sustained injury on her head and arm, he said that he had the cutlass with him prior to the action. He added that the victim sustained the injuries while struggling with him during the act. He, however, pleaded not guilty, claiming the victim seduced him. He said, "It is true that I have sexual intercourse with her, but she initiated it. She made several sexual advances at me, which I rejected because I was tipsy on that very day and told her that I would rather go home. But she did agree with me and persuaded me the more, so I eventually agreed and had sex with her. She was caught while struggling with me when we were having sex because I was holding the cutlass." So another story which is coming from the foreign scene. The United States President Joe Biden says NATO will not fight a war against Russia in Ukraine. Biden, in a series of tweets on his verified Twitter account, said a direct confrontation between NATO and Russia is World War III. Biden wrote, "I want to be clear, we will defend every inch of NATO territory with the full might of a united and galvanized NATO, but we will not fight a war against Russia in Ukraine. A direct confrontation between NATO and Russia is World War III and something we must strive to prevent." The U.S. President assured that the U.S. and its allies will continue to put more pressure on Russia's economy to isolate them on the global stage. As Putin continues his merciless assault, the United States and our allies and partners will continue to work in lockstep to ramp up the current pressure on Putin and to further isolate Russia on the global stage. Putin's war against Ukraine will never be a victory, Biden tweeted. According to Biden, although Putin's plan to dominate Ukraine without a fight and split America has failed, he hoped to dominate Ukraine without a fight. He hoped to fracture European resolve. He hoped to weaken the transatlantic alliance. He hoped to split apart America. He failed. Now to sports story. Nigeria international Azizat Oshoala has claimed her third Spanish league title with Barcelona following the Blaugranas 5-0 thumping of Real Madrid on Sunday in front of a passionate crowd at the Estadio Johan Cruyff. Barca women won the Clásico convincingly without Oshoala, who leads the league scorers chart with 19 goals, but her goals played a major role in ensuring Barca were crowned league champions for the third time in a row and 7th in total. The victory against Madrid means the Blaugranas' 72 point cannot be surpassed, even with 6 games to go in the season. A brace from Alexia Putellas and goals from Patrick Guerrero, Jenny Amoso, and Babette Peter ensured the Blaugranas claimed the 2021-2022 Primera Division title in a convincing fashion. Sweden international Fridolina Rolfo set up Putellas for the first goal in the 41st minute before she doubled the advantage 2 minutes later after she was teed up by Guerrero. Guerrero made it 3-0 for Jonathan Granada's women on the hour mark. 5 minutes later, Peter turned the ball past our home goalkeeper. The damage was complete with 8 minutes left on the clock through a muscle thanks to an assist from Putellas. That was the world news from DJI TV. But before we go, a quick recap of the headlines once again. Drug business. Abba Kyari's wife slumped in court. Drug trafficking. NDLEA opposes Abba Kyari's bail request. Insists he will escape. AGF Malami denies exonerating Abba Kyari's. Explains action. Teenage nanny strangles mistress baby to death to please court. Nance kicks as policeman shoots undergraduate in Ibadan. The dispatch rider accused of kidnapping, hiding baby in his courier in Lagos is innocent. Man back 7 years imprisonment for rape assault in Ogun. Ogun residents to Abiodun, we are on the siege of hoodlums in Araromi. And to foreign story, why NATO cannot fight Russia in Ukraine. And sport, Oshola's goals power back to Spanish League title. Thank you for watching. For more updates on our YouTube channel, the handle is Abba Kyari TV. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell, selecting option all. On Facebook, Bagede Imo with Alawiye Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. On Instagram, Bagede Imo _22. For other placements of your goods and services, coverage of events and function, both outdoors. The phone number streaming on your screen is a direct line to call, strictly for advert placements. Keep in touch and updated that yes, we're planning the birthday ceremony of Baba Bagede Imo. Come next week, possibly. Will be a family to celebrate it. Thank you for watching. I am Moriri Rebila Lawal.